This is the Diamantina bungalow tent. We're just going to quickly show you how easy it is to pack this tent away. This tent's a really simple tent to pack up, and it's very commonly thought that canvas tents are very heavy and complicated and difficult to set up and pack up. And we're going to show you that that's actually a myth, because many canvas tents like this are actually quicker to pack up than the equivalent sized dome tents. So the first thing we're doing here is we're removing the front awning ropes and pegs. We're doing this in exactly the reverse order that we did to set it up. So the last thing we set up was the awning. So the first thing that we pack up is the awning. We've removed the two side poles first, left the centre pole up in the middle, and then taken the centre pole out last. The canvas is then slid back to the room, and the centre ridge bar is removed. So the awning now drops to the ground. The next step from there is to remove the centre support frames, and whilst that's happening, the front canvas awning is thrown back over the roof line, so it can fold up quite tidily as that's going. So there's a centre upright pole at the rear of the tent and a centre upright pole at the front door of the tent. Both of those are removed, and there's a centre ridge bar as well, that's removed at the same time. So as you can see, by removing those centre poles, the tent actually is still standing up. So there's no centre structure anymore, but the framework on the side is still holding the tent up. It's also very important to note here that the pegs of the tent are all still in the ground. That's what's holding the structure up. If we started pulling pegs out first, then the whole thing would collapse. So it's very important the process is followed exactly the reverse way that you set the tent up. The next step is we're lowering the side poles to the ground to take the tension off, and we're starting to close the zippers over here. You notice we don't suddenly drop the side poles to the ground. We lower it very gently with one person on either side, and we just take the pressure off first and then gently lower it to the ground. No chance of any damage occurring when that takes place. Then the second side is done exactly the same way. Notice the window is still open on the end at this point, and that's important because you get like a balloon effect otherwise, because the canvas is very highly waterproofed and the air can't escape unless one of the windows is open. So once it's down on the ground, we then remove the remaining roof ridge bars and we tidy it all up. We close the zippers over, making sure all the air has escaped from the tent, and we gradually just tidy the whole process up. Right now the pegs are still in the ground, so it makes it easier to actually fold it neatly whilst the pegs are still in the ground here. What we're doing is tucking the walls underneath, and the last thing that you see is the roof of the canvas tent, so that's the last thing sitting up, and it makes the whole folding process really neat and tidy. All the windows are zipped closed now, all the doors are zipped closed, and we're just trying to fold it neatly so that it will go into the bag really easily. And if you follow this process each time, you'll find there won't be any difficulty in getting it into the bag. It's only when the folding process is not neat, that the windows are not zipped up and they're left rolled up, or the whole thing's just sort of ruffled and tried to stuff it into a bag, and you'll find that's when it's complicated to do. So you follow a process and a system like this, and you'll get it in the bag first time, every time, and it makes the whole process so simple. Notice how we're using another peg to take the pegs out of the ground. Really important that people don't grab the material and use that to pull the pegs out, because it could damage the tent. So we're using another peg, hook the peg, pull it out of the ground. Very easy. We always leave a window open, the last thing, so that you can allow the air to flow out of the tent as it's folding to the ground. And then before we fold it up, we simply close all the windows and doors and then pack it up nice and neat. Just a couple. Really important, the fold of the tent is the same width as the bag, so it can go in easily. So you can see when you fold it neatly and you roll it neatly and you squeeze all the air out of it, it should go back into this bag really easily. Now's the test. Let's see how good we are. There we go. One bag for the skin, one bag for the poles. Packs up beautifully. That's a really good size package. Put it in the back of the car, away you go. That's the Diamantina Canvas Tent range. This one was the Diamantina Bungalow. Check out the whole range, www.diamantina.net.au.